Hello everyone, in this tutorial we will be learning how to cut a monostrip dress. You can see I already have my lining cut out to the size I needed using my widest circumference, which is the bust, to cut the upper bodice, like the shoulder to the waist length, then the required circumference is there. So you can see on my mark points, my shoulder, my neckline has been marked there, my shoulder to waist length, then my shoulder to chest line, then the under bust line has been inserted and marked out with an horizontal lines there. So the next thing I'm going to mark is my nipple point. That's my shoulder to nipple, which is 11 inches. So I'm going to get this all through and join it with an horizontal line, just as I have it in the case of others. So that will be my shoulder to nipple point line. So from my shoulder to nipple point now, I'm going to mark out what will be I'm going to get my bustier shape in it. So on my under bust, remember there are some parts we need to remove just to insert the bustier shape in it. So I'm going to be having 1.5 inch to the side panel, then 1 inch on the center panel. Right under where I'm having my 1.5 inch, I'm going to have the same 1.5 inch to that side. So you can see it's just as straight as possible. There is no curve in it because it's just the same measurement. Why I have ½ inch to this side where I have my 1 inch. So I'm just going to bring it together. So you can see the shape is quite different from the previous one. So now is to get the shape of my bustier. I'm coming down by 0.5 inch from the nipple point just to avoid a sharp edge. So my shape is going to come out from the ½ inch, then goes into the 1.5, then the same thing to the center panel. Now I'm going to get the midpoint of my armhole depth, which is 4 inch. So for my 4 inch, I take ½ inch upwards and ½ inch downwards. So depending on how you want your princess darts to be, some princess darts can come up more than this, some can come lower than this, depending on how you want it, but this is the way I want it. So you can do it whichever way it works for you. So I'm going to be shaping this out to meet up with the ½ inch below the half of my armhole depth. Then the second one, which is the center panel, will go to the one above my the midpoint of the armhole depth, as you can see. So on the first one now, that first one, I'm going to be marking 1 inch because the direction of my armhole is definitely going to change. So if you are conversant with my videos, you would have seen this. So you need to increase this by 1 inch, then you change the direction of our armhole while cutting it out. The next thing I'm going to do now is to insert my circumference with a vertical lines. So that's my bust circumference divided by 4. I have my under bust circumference as well divided by 4. Then my waist divided by 4. So you can see now we have enough, in fact more than enough allowance to return those lines back into it, those parts that will be removed after cutting it out. So you need to take note of what you have in those parts that is going to be opened out. So I have about 2.5 inch on the under bust line and 2 inch on the bust line. So I added it with my seam allowance and I draw it out. You can see it with that vertical line there. So once I remove those parts, I have enough allowance on the other side, which will make up the measurements of my dress without having a shortage. So you can just go ahead and start with your cutting. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. So you can go ahead and start doing the cutting. I notch the center line. Remember, it's a monostrip dress. I only mark my neck width. I didn't cut it out and I didn't shape it yet. This will be done much later. So remember, you are changing the direction of the armhole, thereby increasing it by 1 inch to the side panels. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut the sides first. Then after this, I'm going to cut the bustier shape in it. You can go ahead and pin this in place just as I'm about to do now. You can pin it in place to avoid your fabric draft shifting around, so you can have a perfect cut in it. So you just cut within the line and try as much as possible to avoid a sharp edge. In case you have a sharp edge, you can easily correct this. As long as it's not too obvious, it doesn't spoil the material. So just try as much as possible so that you don't have a sharp point on the bust area. You can see, just remove little sharp points that you have there. So this is the front bodice already cut out, and I have my back bodice to be cut now. I do the same thing. I have my lining gum with the interfacing on it. So I'm just going to place this just as I have marked out the required measurements that I needed for the front bodies. The same thing is what I did here before joining the interfacing on it. So I have my zip allowance left out, as you can see on that part. And take note of what you are using to do your zip allowance. I'll be using 1 inch for this dress. Just 1 inch is enough for my zipper allowance. So I place the side bodice close to the tip. And I can go ahead and start cutting out my armhole. Here I'm going to come out by 0.3 inches away from the front armhole. It is a standard because the back tends to be wider than the front. So the same thing I'm doing here is just to input my dart and avoid the bustier shape in it. Input the dart, avoid bustier shape. You can see there is no bustier shape at the back. So the same thing to the side panel for the back. I'm going to avoid the bustier shape in it just to ensure that I have my princess dart alone, just the princess dart shape alone in it, avoiding the bustier shape in it. You can see it. So I don't have a bustier at the back. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to work on my back panels, the back center panel. My zip allowance, I open it up. Then on the under bust to the waist length, I come in by 0.5 inch. Then I also reduce the back with 1 inch. So make it slopey towards the edge. You can see that the 1 inch is not total. So the essence of this is to remove bulkiness. You'll notice in some dress you see how bulky the zip will be to push up. So to avoid this hunchback at the back of your dress, you just have to do that. So I've used this to cut out my main fabric, you can see. So you can see how beautiful the fabric is. So this is the intended fabric for this style, and that's the back bodice already set out, prepared to be sewn. So I do the same thing to the front bodice as well, and I hope to see you in our next video in the sewing aspect of this tutorial. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and follow us on our Facebook page, Impeccable Initiative, to get more of these videos. Thank you.